Hello, everybody, and indeed, welcome to another edition of Who's Your Hometown Heroes. I'm Tony Val. If your current LinkedIn profile picture is as outdated as mine is, you won't want to miss today's guest. He is Marty Moran, the owner of WhiteHot Headshot, and he's got a gift for bringing out the very best of you in your new headshot. I invite you now to enjoy my visit with Marty Moran. Who's Your Hometown Heroes is sponsored by Prometheus Consulting. Prometheus is Indy's most trusted name in outsourced IT support. Well, Marty, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on this show. Thank you.
Absolutely. So where I want to start, Marty, I've always felt like your headshots are so distinctive. The photos you produce, when I look at them, normally I see them on Facebook. You do a really good job of posting them to Facebook. I just instantly know. I don't need to see that the post is from you. I say, wow, Marty took that headshot. So I'm curious to know, how did you develop your style? And would you say it's a very distinctive style? Do you do them all the same?
I'm pretty consistent. Now, there may be a variation of the person depending on their background or what they do. For example, the other day, a friend of mine, he came to me for headshots and some time ago, and he's a DJ. And there's this picture of him with his head turned back laughing. That is really him, although I'm really going for the eyes. But there were some others of him that were of the eyes, because people want to look into your eyes to see if they trust you. But going back to what you said in the beginning about why did I start this? I went on LinkedIn, and I'm amazed at the number of people who believe that their headshots are really good on LinkedIn, and they're really terrible. And when you hear from other people that are looking at those same headshots and they go, that's a terrible headshot, can't see their eyes. Why are they always focusing on the background? Because that's your selling proposition. Because when you're in business, if you're a realtor, for example, and you want a picture of the house in the background, that's your selling proposition, but that's not you. So I got tired of seeing headshots that were, one guy was on a mountaintop. I said, well, you couldn't even find that guy.
Wow, interesting. It occurs to me that your business is one of those unique kind of happy accidents in a way, now that we are living so much more online. You know, a business card is much more virtual today. It's digital. And so I'm assuming there's a much higher demand for what you do in the last, let's say, 10 or 15 years. Am I correct?
Well, there is a demand for reality. Today we have AI generated photos. We have all these apps that make you look like you're not who you are. And I heard a few people say to me that if I meet you publicly, and let's say I do your headshot, Tony, and you don't look like you look on this video right now, then you're lying someplace, lying in your life someplace, because you're not being real. And what I've found with people is that if you're lying about your looks, because you only have one and God gives them to you, if you're lying about your looks, you're lying about other things in your life. And that makes me not know whether I trust you. And I heard a financial guy say, your stock just went down when I walk in and you don't look like your portfolio picture. And we have a lot of people that are just, and I say it's mostly women that I mean, I've done headshots where somebody says, I don't really like my photograph. I don't mind admitting that, but they were really, really good. She just didn't like herself. Mm. And so I see a lot of that. Well, I won't say I see a lot of it. I will say that I have a lot of 5-star reviews on Google, but there's an occasional 2 or 3% that are just never happy with themselves. And no matter what you do, they tell you that, can't you do it this way? And then it looks like a glamour shot. Well, I can do glamour shots, but this is business headshots for you to grow business.
Yeah. I think I hear what you're saying. You don't do glamour shots. However, just from my untrained eye, I'm not a artistic person, but I feel like you do a wonderful job of producing, yes, realistic photos, but also magnificent. Almost like you get the very best out of each subject. I don't know how you do it, but I feel like you do it very consistently.
Well, let's say you struggle smiling, right? And you see, I struggle. I don't like my smile because it makes my face look funny. And most people really insult themselves, but I have a way of communicating with you. Um, here's an example. I had a man who came to me for headshots. He wouldn't smile. He's a sales guy, but he wouldn't smile. And he goes, I just don't smile. It's not. I said, so in your company will send you back to me if they don't like the smile. And he goes, well, they'll do what they do. And I said, how do you sell if you can't smile when you're talking to a client? So he said, well, this, I just sell what I sell and I'm an inside sales. I said, well, that makes a difference. You're inside sales. But here's the thing. You're producing an image for that company that lets you know you're presentable. So I got really weird with him a little bit. And I went behind my camera and I go, you know what? I think I love you. And he burst out laughing, but I caught this amazing shot. And I said, see, you do have the smile in you because you can communicate. You think yourself as a poser instead of just being real. And I want people to be real and not, I don't know. I guess I get tired of the fake filtered
Yeah.
photographs. And I clean blemishes and stuff, and I make you look fresh, but I'm not going to Photoshop all your blemishes away
Hmm.
because unless it's a blemish that I know is just there today, like a pimple grows, that pimple will be gone. But it's just the day to day. If you're 60, you need to look like 60. If you're 20, you need to look like 20. But if you're 60 and you want to look like 20, that's not going to happen with me because you're
Yeah.
not 20 anymore. That's the reality.
Yeah. This thing about being real, I really hear what you're saying. I'm not going to name names. I can think of someone I'm connected to on Facebook
Yeah.
who has a very attractive headshots, seemingly multiple
Mhm.
on Facebook. Yet I've followed this person long enough to understand that those are not accurate. Those are quite doctored.
Right.
And I hear what you're saying. There's something that we do inside that says, well, somehow I'm not going to trust this person so much as I might otherwise do. Now, in my case, and I'm sure there are many people like me. It's been such a long time since I've had a fresh headshot. So a lot of the digital images of me these days are much hair ago and fewer pounds ago and all that sort of thing. So, it's really probably time for me to get back on the horse and get something that's much more of a
Fresh. Fresh is the
representation.
word.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
fresh. I want to see you as you are. I don't want to see you as somebody else. I will tell you, Tony, I have met people, gone to coffee shops, and I'm looking around for the person that I'm supposed to meet. And then all of a sudden I hear somebody wave, "Hey, Marty." And I look over and I realize that doesn't even look anything like their headshot, but they won't change it because they want to be perceived to be this beautiful specimen of perfectness. And we are all flawed. We all have. I mean, I'm 74 now. I've written a book. I'm working on a second book. And my wife laughs at this little thing right here, calls it my waddle. It's part of me. And I can say, "Can you hide my waddle?" No, it's part of me. I am real. This is me. This is who I am. And some people just don't like all their flaws because people point out your flaws, and pretty soon I'm not offended by people pulling out my flaws or pointing them out. I am who I am. I can't change who I am. I can change my behavior, but the way I look, it's God's fault. He made me this way.
Right, right. Well, I think that's a very, very healthy outlook. And just from a strictly business standpoint, I think it's a smart way to do business. Honesty is the best policy.
Yes, I agree.
And I believe people can really detect when you're not being sincere, when you're trying to be someone who you're not. And so I think what you're doing with headshots really fits quite nicely. Now, Marty, I want to make sure to get on the record because you and I have known each other for a good while, but there's a
Yeah.
reason I reached out recently, and that is because you posted something very special to social media not too long ago. I just want to read this. It says,
Okay.
during these challenging economic times, my commitment remains steadfast in serving the public. Therefore, I've decided to implement a 50% reduction in headshot fees with all individual headshots priced at $175 until further notice.
Yeah.
So kudos to you. When I saw that, Marty, I said, my gosh, I've got to have Marty on the show right away. So what made you decide to do this, and what has been the response?
Well, the response has been really great. Actually, I'm really surprised at where the response is, but small businesses, although they may lie about it, I'm going to say lie about it. Small businesses are struggling, and they don't want to admit they're struggling because they want everybody to think they're so successful. But we're all in the same boat. We're vying for the dollars, the same as me. But I saw that when my prices were at 350, I got people, and people were saying, raise your prices. And I heard this over and over again. Even in these down times, you need to raise your prices. Something in my spirit didn't connect, because if, let's say for an example, if I did 10 headshots for some people because my price is down, that's better money than collecting 350 headshots sporadically. But now I've got people, there's a quote in for 50 headshots right now for the company. And I may be doing a lot of work in Illinois with headshots, and that could be a couple hundred people. So I'm seeing there's more of an interest. I mean, immediately people started reaching out to me, immediately. And I couldn't believe it. I started on that Monday when you saw that post. Mm-hmm. That week I was called by so many people, wanting to get in. And now, I mean, I'm getting full up. And it's the way a financial guy explained it to me was really good. He says, look at McDonald's. They're $1 billion company, and they sell small ticket items, but lots of them. And something in me connected with that concept. And with so many people telling me, you got to raise your prices, I was uncomfortable with that advice. So I decided to change it. And I don't really care what people say. Well, you've just cheapened your brand. No, I haven't. My brand's not going to cheapen. It's great, but I am not going to raise my prices like people say. I need income as anybody else does, but I want to do it the right way. And I come to you. So that's
quite a bargain. Quite a bargain.
I'm coming to your door, to your home, to your business. I'll come to you. So it was a battle in my brain at first. And when I got my piece about it, I said, this is the right thing to do, because our economy really doesn't look very well right now. Although there's some that point that we're doing really good, but they don't know the numbers very well. So when people have $350 to spend, for example, and let's say my headshots were $350. So do you spend $350 for a headshot, or do you get groceries? Well, they're going to get groceries. The reality is that's what the reality is. And they're high enough as it is. So I thought, I want to help small businesses get out in the forefront, and your headshot is better than your business practice. You can do anything in business, and you can show what you do, but people need to know who you are first. That's why your eyes are so critical. If your photo looks like an untrustworthy person, nobody's going to call you. And most of LinkedIn's headshots really are awful. They're really awful. There's no clean to them. There's just a lot of busyness in the background. Well, I want my headshots outside. Okay, everybody's looking at the trees, not at your eyes. That's
so true. Yeah.
But you can't. Some people are just not your clients. They just don't see it. That's okay. But the ones that do see it, they call me because they want those clean headshots. So
now, it's interesting to hear that some people maybe pushed back to you and said, by lowering your price, you're hurting your brand. I actually have a different perspective on that. And this comes from knowing you personally for a long time. I know you to be you come at your business, really your entire life, from a servant perspective, I would say.
Thank you.
And when I saw that post on your Facebook, I went the other way. I said, my gosh, that Marty just strengthened his brand tremendously.
Thanks,
because this is so you, and this is why I wanted to talk to you right away. I said, my gosh, Marty sees He's reading the tea leaves just like everyone else. We can feel like we're going into rough waters here. And you stepped right up and said, "Hey, I'm on your team. I see what's happening. We're all in this together."
Right.
And so your headshots, I think, became a tremendous value. I don't think it weakens your brand at all. Now, now it's going to take more headshots to make the same revenue. But my feeling is, bravo, that was a great move.
Thanks, Tony. Because I feel at first it was a struggle because of all the voices in the back of my head telling me not to do it. But the one voice that made sense was my own, that this was the right thing to do to take care of people in tough times. We may bounce back, but that's why I said until further notice. This is not a sale. This is not the sale of the century. This is until further notice, which means until we start seeing, all of us. Now, that's all of us in this country. Until we start seeing a full turnaround of our economy, I'm staying where I'm at right now. I'm not going to raise them. And I don't really care what people think of me. I think many are really happy that I did this because they needed headshots. And now I'm getting people coming in pairs. So there's my 350 anyway. So it takes me a few more minutes to do two people. But this is such a blessing for me. It's such a good time for me. And my wife is an angel. She doesn't put any kind of pressure on me about making money. She knows I'm working, and she knows, and both of us. I mean, she's 70, and she's watching a 2-year-old, my great grandson, and she chases him around all day. And here I am. I'm 74. I'm still working because, and I'm stiff at times, but I'm still doing weddings. I still got weddings on the books. Somebody contacted me the other day about another wedding. I should say this. I'm also doing a solar eclipse wedding next week.
Oh my goodness, that is fascinating.
And I have those glasses where you can't see anything in this room.
I love it. I was going to ask, do you have to put special filters on your lenses and so forth during the eclipse?
It won't hurt my camera, but it will hurt your eyes because it's the UV rays that do it. And they even say with these glasses on, don't look at the sun for any more than 3 minutes. But I don't think our solar eclipse is going to last but about 2 minutes. But I'm excited for that. Of course, with the traffic, I've got to be there like 3 or 4 hours early just to find a place to park. So I'm up for this. This is my life. This is what I do. I love, people don't know. They think I'm just a headshot guy. But man, yesterday I did a very unique photo shoot for a young lady. But I do weddings, newborns, maternity, babies, families, and I know how to light. I know how to bring out the best in people, but because I've been doing photography for 50 years, I know how to do this. And I don't use the magic wand to get things done. I just study light, and that's how I get things done. That's why I think the headshots are. I see people change backgrounds. I'm white all the time. Now, I will edit for your business portfolio, but I typically do everything on white because it's very clean and it doesn't age the photograph. Like if you use that glowing blue background and all the stuff they used to, that's totally 80s. You need to rechange that one,
Yeah.
But white is clean.
Yeah, there's a timeless quality to your photographs for sure, right, to your headshots. No doubt about it. So yeah, the only reason to redo them over time is because people age and change. So it's time to go back to Marty and get a fresh set.
Come see me, Tony. I got you covered, brother.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm gonna put Denver, my business partner Prometheus. He and I we're gonna get on your calendar. I guarantee. I mean, this is a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer.
I'll make you look handsome.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I'll be there. Do you have time today? No, I'm kidding. Do you ever see yourself slowing down, or is this kind of the way you are? Are you just love to work?
You know what, Tony? I've noticed, I think I would say I'm going to give my mom and dad some credit for a work ethic. My dad worked at a hardware, after he retired at 65, he worked at a hardware store till he was about 80. He passed away at 89, 10 years ago. And I don't see any reason for me to slow down. I love my work. Before I called you, I was editing some photographs. I read a lot. My goal is to expand my thought processes. And the thing that's interesting about why I'm different from other photographers is that I don't read books on photography. And that may sound puzzling. Some people say, here, you should read this book on this photographer. I said, why? Because I'll become just like them. I'll have to find my way. So what I do is I read books about people. People are the most unique, entertaining, sometimes irritating, but they're people. And you have to learn how to love people. And when you can spend time with people and help people grow, that's the win-win for me. So I would say that the thing that will slow me down probably would be being buried 6 feet under. I'm going to do this till death do I part from this life.
Well, good for you. More power to you. Now, Marty, if someone wants to get in line, they're going to have to get behind Denver and I. But if someone wants to get in line and get some headshots, I assume WhiteHotHeadshot.com is the way to go. Are there contact forms on the website there?
There are some ways to get a hold of me. You can text me. There's ways. My number and my email's on the website, and I'm getting ready to do a revamp on the website soon. It's going to be a big upgrade. But right now it is what it is. It's still a good site, and you'll see good headshots listed there, but there's a way to contact me and schedule. And you can find me on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, but you can find me on a variety of ways. So I'm wonderful. You'll see me everywhere on social media.
Yes, very good. Well, of course, people watching this video will notice we will have sprinkled your URL and phone number on the video itself and down in the show notes. So there should be no problems there. Marty, thank you again for your post, for this wonderful thing you're doing for our community with the discount. I'm gonna reach out to Denver, and we will reach out to you and get in line. People can tell when Marty's taking our photos, because we'll have they can just tell. They'll see your style. So I'm excited for that.
Thanks, Tony. Just one thought about this. Like, you wear glasses. People always ask me, can you photograph people with glasses? I have these weird glasses, and I'm going, just set yourself aside and not worry about this. I've been doing this for years. People with glasses don't threaten me. Bald people don't threaten me. People with lots of hair don't threaten me. I'm not. I've done this for so long. I know how to shoot around issues. It's not that difficult if you know people and you know how to light. It's easy to catch it. You'll do it if you keep a good smile on your face, Tony. You got the public, because your eyes are good. So you got it's a good persona. So it'll be good. You'll like it.
Excellent.
You'll like what you see.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait. Marty, thank you so much for joining me today, and let's do it again sometime soon.
Thanks, Tony. You have a good day, my friend.
You
Talk
too.
to you soon. Bye-bye now.